Well, hello, everyone. My name is Mac Atkinson, and along with my sister Janet and our co-host, Dr. Karen Spencer-Dees, we'd like to welcome you all to the November 2016 Sunrider Fusion Network conference call. This month we have in addition to Dr. Dees, who's on with us. Yes, Dr. Dees?
Yes, thank you for having me.
Hi there. We have a very special guest speaker with us as well, Ms. Dolphin Boschman. Dolphin, you with us?
I am. Hello.
Excellent. Welcome. This month we're going to be talking about staying healthy with Sunrider during the cold and flu season, which tends to be pretty relevant since we're here in November. As I'd like to do at the beginning of the call, I'd just like to remind everybody that none of the information provided in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. And before we get started, just reminding everybody again, my sister and I try to do a lot to support Sunriders around the world. A couple of things we do for these conference calls each month. We also maintain a dedicated Sunrider website. The URL is on the screen right now, www.thefusionnetwork.net. If you haven't had a chance to hit that or look at it, please do. You'll find a lot of information, pages specific to products, our business, Candescent, leaders, advice, direction, etc. A lot of information there, so check it out. Last month on our conference call, we were very, very blessed to have Ms. Julie McClue, the Candescent Manager for Sunrider, join us talking a little bit about the men's skincare products and building our business with that particular product line. So for anybody that didn't have a chance to listen to that, log on to the Fusion Network website, go to the conference call page, and you'll find that call archived there for you to listen to at your convenience. Again, this month, staying healthy with Sunrider during the cold and flu season. We're going to be talking about a lot of different products here today, so I'd like to just jump right into it if I can. Dr. Dees, I mean, you and I have talked many times about this before in terms of, what is the flu? And certainly, I mean, it's a respiratory illness caused by the flu virus. And I did a little bit of research before the call, and I was kind of amazed by some of these numbers, actually. But the CDC estimates between 5 and 20% of all the people in the United States, of which there's 320 million of us, will contract the flu virus each year. So that's somewhere between 16 and 64 million people, of which over 200,000 are hospitalized each year. Had you seen similar statistics? I mean, is this something that you think is really relevant?
I think this is very relevant, and each year I look at the same statistics that you're looking at as we can prevent and do our best to build our immune systems in our bodies to prevent ourselves from getting sick. And this is accurate. This is very accurate. And I believe also what you're reading when you show that the 5 to 20% of the U.S. population, it's actually even higher. I think they actually give a lower stat on this. So a lot of people get the flu, and it's highly contagious, and the best thing we can do is prevention and build our immune systems. But I'd like to hear the symptoms.
Well, absolutely. And again, I just listed a few of the things I pulled from some literature I was looking at, but certainly fevers, coughs, sore throat, muscle aches, body aches, headaches, fatigue. And again, I mean, I know those things can happen to us at any given time and so forth, and they don't necessarily say that we're going to have the flu, but certainly if you're experiencing any of these things, you should be paying attention in what you're doing with yourself, and particularly leading to the next topic, which is how does it transfer? Coughing, sneezing, talking, touching. Matter of fact, it's estimated, I think, that 80% of infectious diseases are transmitted by touch. So that's incredibly important. And again, you're touching an infected surface and then touching your face, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, which I have to laugh. I think we all have a tendency to do, or I shouldn't say all of us. I know myself, the first thing I tend to do sometimes is touch my face, and it happens all the time. And I see it in the dojo all the time too, particularly the kids come in and they're coughing or they're sneezing, and they at best will use their hand. And what we try to teach them to do actually is to kind of cough or sneeze into the crook of their elbow. If you bend your elbow, if you sneeze into that area, you're not actually getting anything on your hands. So then if you do touch your face, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, etc., it's not so bad. Karen, anything you would add to that?
I think that we're going to immediately cover some of the ways that we can protect ourselves, but I will say that you are correct in how to teach people how to cough and to sneeze. and to remember really that some of the things that are out there that people have touched are things such as if you go to a department store, a pharmacy, or I'm not sure what stores all of you have, but if you're signing your credit card and you use the pen attached to the machine, or an ATM, or if you're pumping gas, or if you're touching doorknobs anywhere. These are all, germs just live on these surfaces. And so as we begin to talk about this, you'll start to see, oh my goodness, I had no idea how many germs I'm touching all day long, and we don't want to become germophobic. We want to just understand how to protect ourselves. And the other one that's such a big deal is when you go to the supermarket and people are constantly picking up the fruits, all the produce, the fruits, and smelling them, and the vegetables, and putting them down, or they're coughing as they're looking and they're sneezing, and then you bring them home.
Absolutely. Well, the first two products we're actually going to discuss today, we'll deal with a couple of those things. But before we get into those real quick, Dolphin, I'd like to turn to you for a second. I mean, I know you had mentioned to me, and I saw a promotion on Facebook, et cetera, that you've recently been doing some classes up there dealing with exactly this subject. And I mean, I assume the reason you thought it was important to do so were because of some of the things we've just got through talking about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Being a massage therapist, of course, I'm seeing people and touching people every day, and it's amazing how, you know, people will. I ask people, at least let me know if you're starting to feel ill or not, because sometimes it's not the best thing to have a massage for other reasons. It can, you know, drive that virus in deeper and things like that. So not just for my own safety, but for theirs. And it's just, you know, this time of year, more and more people are getting sick.
Yeah, they sure are. Well, it's funny. I'll just share one other thing about the dojo, and that is the other thing that we tell, well, children, youth, adults, everybody in there is if you feel like you have a cold or the flu, you stay out of the dojo. Do not come into class. That's going to be okay. We'll miss you, but don't come in, please. Make sure you wait at least 3 days after you're feeling better before you come back, because we do not need it in that environment. So I love it. You know, before we go on and talk about philosophy of generation and so forth, I just wanted to share with everybody too, because we do, you know, like to talk about how we can market with some of these products we'll talk about tonight. But one of the things that my sister and I just did this last week is we put together a small little postcard for our active personal group here in the U.S. So we ended up sending this card out to about 300 people or so, but it was very simple to produce. It was done through Word, okay, that's how simple it was. I was able to put it together, so that truly tells you how simple it is. And we basically just put pictures of 3 of the products on the front of the card, and it was Alpha 20C, Candescent Hand Cleansing Gel, and Citrix C, which are 3 of the products we'll talk about this month. A little segment on the front, it's cold and flu season, fight it with Sunrider, support your immune system. And then on the back, we put our contact information, our website, our email address, and, you know, contact us for more info on the very best in whole food nutrition, cleansing beverages, weight management, sports and fitness, all natural skincare, color cosmetics, and households. And again, that's a card that we were able to produce. I think we did, again, 350 on the print. They ran about 30 cents each. The postage for a postcard in the U.S. is 34 cents. So for under 70 cents a card, we were able to touch everybody in our active personal group here in North America. Very simply, very cost effectively. And again, it's a great reminder to people for a couple of things. Those that are active, they're going to be thinking about these products anyway, but maybe it's a nice reminder. Maybe they haven't tried the hand cleansing gel in a while, or they're low on Citrix C. It's a good reminder to get them to order. And again, this is something that we're trying to do every couple of months now. We'll do the same in late December, early January as kind of a thank you for your loyalty, etc. But again, folks, there's a lot of ways using these products, all of these great products and foods from Sunrider, that we can be touching our personal groups out there and promoting additional sales. So with that said, let's move right along to this next slide, which is where we talk a little bit about what can we do now in terms of some of these challenges with cold and flu season. And certainly it's things like cleaning our hands, it's cleaning our food, disinfecting surface areas, having a balanced diet that's high in nutrition, supporting your immune system specifically, and then of course rest and relaxation. And again, we'll talk not about all, but about some of the products you see listed on the screen here in a minute. But before we do, I think it's important for everybody that's kind of new to these calls or new to Sunrider to understand why they should be choosing Sunrider Foods. And Dolphin, if I can, don't mean to put you on the spot, but Karen and I do this all the time on these calls. So if we can turn to you, would you give us your quick, down and dirty, if you will, overview of philosophy of regeneration?
Oh, sure. I love Sunrider specifically for these 4 points that we're going to go over. First of all, the philosophy of regeneration is unique to Sunrider in the meaning that every single product is made based on this philosophy, not on a specific ingredient or anything but this philosophy, which is very simply, if we nourish the body and we cleanse the body, it will find its own natural balance. Our bodies are inherently wise, and so we just need to give it the right tools and fuels to be able to do that. And these foods, the Sunrider foods, do exactly that. They nourish our body, they cleanse, they help the cleansing organs be strong through nourishment, and then we can find balance in our body. The second principle is food, not chemicals. Everything in Sunrider is made from food, from botanicals, and including the household cleaners that we're going to talk about, including the fruit and veggie rinse or the skincare, everything. And I just love that. Again, from just helping our body be nourished and not have to fight off chemicals. The third principle is variety. And there is no magic bullet, no magic ingredient in nature that can do everything that our body needs. So we need that variety in our diet and in the products. And I'm not sure if it's still the numbers, but I believe I heard Dr. Chen works with over 10,000 varieties of plants and botanicals and foods to make the products. And again, it allows our bodies to be strong and not adapt, and just having that variety to be able to nourish all the different parts of our bodies is fantastic. And then the fourth principle, I think, is the most important principle, and that is the expertise in formulation and concentration. Our owners, Dr. Chen, and now his kids, Eric and Ruben, are the ones that put these formulas together. They are the genius behind these formulas, not just random scientists. So we have the owners being smart enough to oversee everything, every part of the production and the manufacturing of these products. And I remember someone saying, it might have even been Dr. Chen saying, you know, you can have 100 scientists, but it will never equal an Albert Einstein. Mm-hmm. And to me, Dr. Chen is the Albert Einstein of herbs. Like, he just knows and is so passionate about and just has the understanding of how to put these formulas together so that they do what they're supposed to do, and that is regenerate. So, and then everything is concentrated. Everything is concentrated as well. So it's just fantastic. I just love it.
That was great, Finn. Thank you. And, you know, you're right on, especially with that principle number 4. One of my favorite things at convention every year is to tour the manufacturing facility. Mm-hmm. And you can see what goes into the manufacturing of these products, the number of herbs that are rejected each and every day because they don't meet the highest quality standards that Sunrider imposes. Just incredible stuff. So thank you very much for sharing that. If we can, first product now, let's get into it. The Candescent Hand Cleansing Gel. You'll hear me say this probably on every single product we talk about today, but one of my favorite products. It's something I truly do travel with. I'm blessed in our Sunrider organization in that we have a group of people that span the globe, allowing me an opportunity to not only deal with our organizations here in North America and Canada, but throughout the world, traveling twice each year to Western Europe and Hungary and to Australia. And this is one of the products that is always with me every day. It's in my car, it's in my bag, it's in my backpack when I travel. I use it everywhere. And Dr. Dees, I think, again, this is an easy one to go back to something you were talking about on a previous slide, and that is, you know, when you're going into the supermarkets, or you're at the bank teller, or you're standing in line at Costco, or you're anywhere out there. I mean, again, this is something that is absolutely fabulous to have on hand. And again, to Finn's point on being all natural, this again it really cleanses with an all natural plant-based surfactant. So it's natural for us as well. Anything you would add to this, Dr. Dees, on this particular product?
The only thing I would add is coming at this from a parent's point of view.
Absolutely.
And that is, this does not have alcohol in it, and this is safe for children. And so because so many of the kids come home, right, having touched everything that every child has that sneezed on or coughed on, we keep hand cleansing gel in all of our children's backpacks, all of them. And even to the point of putting them in the hockey bag, right? Or putting them in the track bag. We find that as long as each one of us carries it, we have the opportunity to always use it. And that's what we've always taught the children, that this is, from our point of view, kind of a version of a no-soap soap, right? Where it cleanses, disinfects, and kills everything from staph to E. coli to bacteria that truly live, you know, on the surface that we touch. And so the best protection we all have is to cleanse our hands. But we do not want, for us, our children using things that are alcohol-based or that are toxic for them. Because remember, anything you put on your hands gets immediately into your bloodstream. And if you, for young children, if you're using alcohol-based hand gels and then they eat their snacks or their food, you could potentially cause a toxic problem for them and get them sick. So this is both safety, health, and also one of the beautiful factors for me is that it doesn't dry out my hands. And I use it like Vin does because I'm with people all day long, constantly. And I find that that factor, just in it not drying out my hands, is just wonderful. So that's some little points that I would add.
Right on. Vin, anything that you would say about this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to follow up with what Karen said, yeah, this is my favorite, one of my favorite baby shower gifts because it's safe for babies and children. And I love the smell. You know, you smell those alcohol ones and they're just, oh, they're overwhelming, and ours just smells lovely. And yeah, I have to wash my hands after every client, and it's all the way down the hall. So I don't have to with this. I have this, and so I don't have to wash my hands every single time. And for clients that I have, nurses and those that are in the health industry where they're washing their hands all the time, this is a great, you know, this really helps because it doesn't dry out their hands. So, yeah, I actually had some nurses, you know, they were able to do little studies in their labs, and they actually could see how much bacteria, it was just like unbelievable how much bacteria it killed, which really impressed them. So that was pretty cool.
Love it, love it. Well, absolutely, you guys, and again, one of my favorite products, as I've said before, it travels with me around the world. Another one that I typically bring with me too is this next one we're going to talk about. I'll bring the small size bottle with me as I travel, and that is our fruit and vegetable rinse. Dr. Dees, turn to you first on this one. Tell us a little bit about fruit and vegetable rinse and why it's important.
So I want to say that this is one of those products that I would never be without. And this is one of the little pieces of history that goes along with this is that Dr. Chen created this brilliant product many, many years ago to keep his own equipment from any mold, mildew, bacteria that was producing, that we were using to put New Plus in or Cali in. And this is all done from food, from corn, coconut. There's nothing toxic in this. So although on the market now, There's tons of products that call themselves, you know, fruit and vegetable rinses. They are not necessarily friendly to our insides, but also they're not necessarily made from any food. They're made from chemicals. And so what this product is, which I love, is that this one not only uses corn and coconut as its base, but when you take the little cap and you pour it, let's say a capful into your sink, you can put all your produce in there, your fruits, your vegetables, you can put eggs, potatoes, you can use it to clean counters, tables, whatever you do, but what it does is it takes off first dirt, and kind of like our skin, where we have kind of a oil coating, waxy coating from being out in the environment, it first takes off this waxy coating on everything so that it can get underneath it. And then it gets rid of all of the bacteria, all of the pesticides, all of the dirt, anything that would contribute to that actual food causing you to feel ill. And one thing as a doctor or a professor in the field of nutrition that I will share is that I have a lot of clients that think that they are allergic to certain foods. And really what they're reacting to is the pesticides that are on those foods, not the actual food. And so what this does is it takes off all of it, and especially because we're talking about people who possibly don't have the best hygiene, who are putting it on the trucks, right, who we are all touching it. People, excuse me, they go to the bathroom, they touch their fruit, they touch the vegetables, they put it back in the, you know, on the shelves in the market. We have to be kind of a little bit vigilant and make sure we do clean our fruits, our vegetables, our produce, so that we can get rid of all of this, so that the benefits, right, of our fruits and vegetables make a difference in our bodies. And the best test that I love is that wonderful fruit and vegetable rinse test where you can use either broccoli or you can use purple grapes. And you can just put a little bit in a bowl with some water and put some grapes in one, and then put in a bowl just plain water and put some grapes in the other, or do the broccoli. And you will see immediately how the broccoli, turns color from that kind of bluish, greenish color to a bright, vibrant green. And you will see with the grapes, the waxy coating starts to disappear, and they start to turn really, really a beautiful shade of purple. And then all of a sudden, the flavor is enhanced. So not only do we feel better from it, does it taste better, but also it even lasts longer in your refrigerator. So there are many uses for this, but I have to say this is a critical product in keeping us all well and healthy.
Right on, perfect. Dolphin, you use this one yourself?
Of course. And Karen, you nailed it. Pretty much, you said it verbatim how I tell people about it. The only couple things I would add is I also wash my meat, especially chicken, because there's a lot of salmonella just on the surface of chicken. And so I'll take all my fruits and veggies and everything out, and then I'll finish off with any kinds of meats, fish, that kind of thing.
So do you use like your fruits and vegetables first in your sink and then take all of them out to air dry and then put your meat in that? That's fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. Just finish it off, and, you know, why not?
Right.
It's there.
That's
and
fantastic.
then, I would also say, everything tastes better. Oh, my gosh. That's the best part of that demo is actually, the visual. But then I get people to take a little bite of I'll have some broccoli that I haven't washed, and then I'll get them to taste it with it being washed. And it's just fantastic. And also here, you know, where I live in the prairies, a lot of people have gardens in the summertime. And so they like, I buy organic, or I grow my own. Hey, you still have to wash it. There's no such thing as organic handling. There's no such thing as organic air. You're still getting stuff in the air from car fumes, and here on the, in the prairies, sprays and pesticides that are being carried from the fields. So it's still important to wash everything. You
know, just to add on to what Finn was saying, Mac, I had a friend who was in the market just the other day buying for Thanksgiving. And after she picked up the produce, she noticed on her hand she actually had a rash.
Wow.
She was so itchy. And she went up to the customer service and asked them, and they actually said, you're probably having a reaction to what we sprayed on it. We sprayed things on it even in the store.
Crazy.
And it was astounding, and she just said, I had no idea. I mean, she had a full-blown rash, and I asked her what she did, and she was laughing. She said, I got my hand gel out, and I thought, well, I'll wash it off.
Awesome.
And she said it healed, but she said the last thing she thought of was that she'd be food shopping and have a pesticide reaction.
Boy,
so it shows you how real this is and how amazing these products are.
Yeah.
Well,
And just,
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
No, Pin, go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, no, just a little bottle, like you said, Mac, is like I don't travel without it. And it's not because I'm washing lots of fruits and veggies when I'm traveling, but an example like that where you can put it topically on your hand. I'll put a few drops in and gargle my throat with it if I feel like something is coming on. Just things like that because, again, it's all food. We don't have to rinse the fruits and veggies after we take them out of the sink, so we don't have to worry about ingesting it. So, you know, just things like that where, you know, especially for the cold and flu, I believe even in our hand gel, there's some of the fruit and veggie rinse in the hand gel. So this is a primary product, I think, with the fruit and veggie rinse,
Well, and you know, you're right. You touched on something just a second ago, the fact that it is edible, where no other brand that I'm familiar with on the market says that you can actually consume this particular product. You have to rinse again. And the primary cleaning agent, which you guys have talked about, you're right, is from cornstarch or from cornstarch and coconut oil, and it's decyl polyglucose is the actual name for people if they like to check that out. Last thing I'll kind of add here is I remember talking to Dr. Chin about this product years ago, and I'll never forget what he had to say about it. He said, it's like fire. Everything that's thrown into the fire is consumed, and that's what he envisioned when he was manufacturing this product. And Penn, you mentioned gargling with it, etc. I've had people, and I've used it myself on cuts and scrapes and burns. Folks have told stories about using it for basically candida of the foot, athlete's foot. We've put it in our shampooing our dogs and so forth. My wife has used it in the past on some of her roses in terms of whitefly and aphids and mites and those kind of things.
It's great for mites, like even in our dogs, the farm, in the kitties and that on their ears.
Exactly.
Things like that. It's amazing for that.
Absolutely. So a great product. And again, we could probably spend another half an hour on this one, but let's move on. Okay. Terrific. Next one, Sunbright Super Clean. Dolphin, do you use this one in your home?
Of course, it's the only thing under my sink, which is great, right? Like I only have to have one product to clean everything, and it does everything. You have a hardcore stain, you use it full strength on something really, you know, tough, but it works. It's amazing. Love it.
Well, you know, we're the same way. I know the company talks about it, being able to use it in the dishwasher, on glass, your car, almost any type of flooring, carpet, etc. Again, as all of these products are, they're formulated to exclude the toxic chemicals. It's highly concentrated, which, Dolphin, was one of the things you talked about in the philosophy of regeneration. Sunrider does use it, as well as fruit and vegetable rinse, in terms of cleaning the manufacturing facility. And the two main ingredients are lemongrass oil, which is a natural cleanser, ability to repel insects such as mosquitoes, ants, etc. Also a valuable aromatherapeutic type oil, and tea tree oil, which again is one of the most popular essential oils and the strongest natural antiseptic, clean, crisp, refreshing scent. It's great. We're the same way. It's what we use in our house. Dr. Dees, anything you'll add to this one?
The only thing I'll add is that as we're talking about fruit and vegetable rinse and Sunbright, what I love is that, you know, going green, which is the concept, really starts at home. So for us, we really have made this, you know, environmentally friendly. This is a healthy choice, but it's non-toxic. And for me, that's a really big term, non-toxic. I feel safe, and I know that not only does this work, but also I can feel safe with my family. And I think we all feel the same way. The other piece is that it is so concentrated that a little bit goes a long way. So not only is it environmentally friendly, but it's cost efficient. And so I want everyone to look at whatever you've got in your home. This is worth replacing, just like the fruit and vegetable rinse is worth replacing what you've got. So is this Sunbright. And so you'll see a little bit goes a long way, and not only cleans, but disinfects and smells wonderful.
Absolutely. You know, two quick things before we move on. The picture up there is for the household cleaners. Sunrider also manufactures a laundry Sunbright detergent as well. And the reason I bring this up is you'll see the two bottle sizes. There's the one typically that we have on our dishwasher and underneath the sink, but then there's also the little two-headed bottle. And quite often, especially when I travel to Australia, I'll be going for a couple of weeks at a time, and I don't normally stay at a typical hotel. I like to stay at the service departments, and they have a little kitchen area where I can use my vegetable rinse to clean my apples and things like that I buy and crave. And they also have a washing machine, and so I can pack a little bit lighter. I always travel with the small two-headed bottle of the laundry detergent, and again, I can use it as I'm traveling around the world. And Karen, last point before we move on, you just mentioned the kind of sharing with people and showing them how to switch brands, and I just want to emphasize that for just a second, because that's really what we suggest to people as we talk to them about Sunrider, is how they can use some of the same money they're spending today at the supermarket, the drugstore, upgrade to superior, higher quality Sunrider products using those same dollars to switch brands to the Sunrider brand. So thank you for mentioning that. Next, Sunbar. This gets to our balanced diet part. Dr. Dees, can I turn to you first on this one? Tell us a little bit about Sunbar and why you think this is so important.
Sure. So I think that for everybody, as I share with everyone in our organization, the Sun Bar is revolutionary because bars are everywhere in the stores and on the market, and everybody is looking for fast, effective nutrition on the go. People are very busy, and they love to grab a bar. And what happens with a lot of these bars is they're either too high in protein or they're too high in sugar, and you end up actually losing energy, not gaining energy. And what is different about the Sun Bar is the balance of it. It's a combination of what we call complex carbohydrates with healthy fat or fatty acids, a lot of really good digestible fiber, and whole soy protein. And it's this combination with, if you include the antioxidants into it, that allow for the body to actually build and sustain energy. You get fuel that can actually get converted into that energy where you feel, oh my goodness, I can take on the day, or that lull I was feeling, I was tired, my goodness, I can sit at my desk, or I can go take a jog, whatever it may be. For the kids, we put them in their lunch boxes or snack bags or carry them in the car all the time. But what I want to just share is what Sunrider has written, which is that it's complex carbs for sustained energy, full of essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, a great source of fiber, and heart-healthy whole soy protein. And as I said before, it's easy to digest, and it helps the body in its elimination process. So we kind of eliminate constipation, which can sometimes really create a lot of lethargy or feeling fatigued. You can always remember, choose to have any one of the flavors. They all do the same, but you need to make sure that you also add in something to drink, which helps to move all of this wonderful nutrition through the body. And what I like is Fortune Delight. And so the Fortune Delight, which is an amazing high antioxidant, what we call tea, which is in the sachet or packets, pour some in a bottle and drink it with your Sun Bar. It's really important that you actually help it move its way on through. And the Fortune Delight kind of attracts a lot of the excess fat in the body or toxins and helps it move through the colon. You will see that whether it's the oatmeal raisin or the cocoa chocolate or it's the fruit flavor, that a little bit goes a long way. And for some of you, you might eat half a bar. For others, you may eat a whole bar. And for some of you, you may even eat 2 bars. It doesn't matter. What you'll find is lots of nutrition, easy to digest, and really, really convenient. What do you think, Mac, Finn?
Well, you know, for me, I want to turn to Finn here real quick, but I just wanted to say quickly, we have the oatmeal raisin up here on the screen. My personal favorite is the fruit. Joey, my wife's, hers is the chocolate. Finn, how about you? What's your favorite flavor?
My favorite flavor is the oatmeal raisin, and we can't even get it in Canada.
I know.
So, needless to say, I bring lots of them back with me, and I'm hoping that if the Canadian Sunriders are listening to this, let's call the office and bombard them with, we want oatmeal raisin. Yes, convenience is key. Being able to have something that is really nutritious that I can just grab on the go is really important. And then as far as for our immune health, because that's our theme this month, part of that cleansing process, that's essential. We have to have a strong, healthy way of getting the toxins out of our body so that, you know, through the colon and down through the large intestine, like that's a big part of getting rid of toxicity. So we want that working well and healthy. And so these fiber bars are also really good for that, just keeping us regular.
Absolutely. You know, again, we have a few more products to talk about, and I know timing being what it is, but I do want to share with everybody key ingredients in these bars: koi fruit, lotus root, lithium fruit, soy protein. And Karen and Finn, you both talked a little bit about the fiber, which is FOS fiber, and each bar has 4 grams of this plant fiber in it, and that comes basically from chicory root and from psyllium seed powder. And just to kind of relate back to, again, that whole philosophy of regeneration that you shared with us, Finn, in terms of concentration, the amount of fiber you get in a sun bar is equivalent to the fiber of 5 carrots or 8 bananas or 2 heads of lettuce. And again,
wow.
It's this FOS fiber. And I don't want to get gross or anything, but you mentioned the importance of the elimination in terms of the immune system and supporting. But you're right, the fiber in the sun bar really includes 3 types: soluble, which works like a sponge, absorbing fats and toxins; insoluble, which works like a broom, kind of sweeping the intestines; and semi-soluble, which kind of works like a jelly, which softens the intestinal waste. So again, these are incredible foods. I just one last comment on this, but it's a funny one. I remember not too long ago being up in Phoenix and meeting with Aaron Schuster, Aaron's not in our group, but we do meetings together quite often, and our cars were parked next to each other, and we were kind of looking back and forth between each car, and we started cracking up because in his car I saw a couple of boxes of Sun bars, some empty wrappers on the floor. He looked in my car, he sees a box of Sun bars, a couple of empty wrappers on the floor. We both started cracking up because it's our kind of go-to snack. Karen, I don't want to go into much more detail here, but you had talked about the kids and the hand cleaning gel and having them in the backpacks and the hockey bags. Same thing with this product. This is something our kids leave home with. I mean, we when they were younger, we would send them with them. They take them now as they're leaving the house just to go out as a midday snack kind of thing, and that's kind of how I consume them as well. So appreciate the share from both of you on this one. Alpha 20.
Matt, can I just add that for everybody who understands the concept of what Sunrider is talking about with our NBC, this would be part of our N for Nourish, and this would equate to your Vitus Shake. So I want everyone to know that this is also part of the Vitus Shake.
Cool. Cool. Thank you. You know, I don't like talking necessarily about meal replacements, but just to finish that thought, Karen, I've always been told, I've heard that 2 Sun bars actually equate to a true meal replacement. Would you agree with that comment?
I would agree, 100%.
Fair enough, which ties back into your Vitus Shake mention as well.
Correct.
Thank you. Alpha 20, Dr. Dees, you're still online here. Tell us a little bit about Alpha 20.
So everybody, alpha-20C is part of when we talk about NBC, right? Nourish plus cleanse equals balance. This is part of your B balance, and it's part of the quinary, which means the number 5 in Chinese for your 5 major systems. We've talked about this before: digestion, circulation, respiratory, endocrine, and of course right here, our immune system or defense system. And alpha-20C is part of that quinary, the immune system. This is what we call food for your T cells, which is part of your, or the biggest part, right, of your white blood cells, your defense system. And alpha-20C was really designed to boost and build up your defense system. So as we're in cold and flu season, your immune system is stronger than the germs, right? So that as they begin to invade, this is your barrier. And what Sunrider has put for you is both the bottle of capsules, where it will say 1 to 2 with each meal, or in a powder packet, which is actually the equivalent of 10 capsules. And for me personally, I will tell you that every day through the cold and flu season, I use 1 powder packet of alpha-20C with my quinary, and I mix it with my Fortune Delight in the morning and some Sunny Dew, and it's lovely. I will tell you that for all 4 of my children, every single day they use alpha-20C to boost their immune system, because I'm sending them out into the world. And for everybody who is really looking to take some extra precaution and prevention, this is that product. I always want to add, this is not in place of the quinary and building your 5 systems. This is that product that we add to that to enhance the immune system. We can take extra of this one. What would you all think? Matt, Finn?
Yeah, Finn, please jump right in.
Excellent. Yes, exactly. I do 1 package of quinary at least a day for prevention, and then on top of it, the alpha-20C. Now, this time of year, the fall, like even a little bit, starting a little bit earlier, say around end of August, September, because it starts to get cold here. It can start to get cold here, you know, as early as that, is when I start thinking about, have my clients start thinking about investing in their health bank. You know, just like we're putting money away, you know, in our money bank, this is kind of like money for our food, you know, to help, as far as building up that immune system. So I really like to focus on the prevention and getting people to take anywhere from 2 to 10 capsules a day preventatively, and just to build up that immune system so that, you know, I don't get a cold every year. And so, and even with lots of sick people around me, and I know it's because of that investment that I'm putting in my body. Now, if I do happen to get sick, and it happens, we're all human, and then what I really use this product for is then I just increase the dose. So now I'm taking 2 capsules every couple of hours just to help that immune system fight whatever is going on in my body. So this one is, and again, also traveling, right? If you're traveling to places where you're not quite sure, or even just being in the plane with this recycled air, you want to increase that immune function. This is the formula.
Right on. Good stuff. It's basically the same thing for me, you guys. Quinary every day. Before as we come into these winter months, it's always an additional sachet of alpha. For me, just like you referenced, Finn, traveling too, as I'm 2 weeks or so ahead of each of these international trips, I'll start loading up the alpha-20C. And again, it's all to build up that immune system. Last thing I'll share on this one, because people have asked about it, you know, several times looking at this slide, is the wood element. And again, the wood element is most closely tied to the liver, drives ambition, courage, resourcefulness in your life. When it's out of balance, you can become aggressive and impulsive. So again, if folks out there, if you find yourself, which who doesn't find yourself to be be a little bit impulsive or aggressive during the holiday season out shopping and stuff, again, Alpha 20C is a great one to add to your Sunrider regime. From there, Citrix C-tabs. Again, this is something that I use every day. It's good for so many reasons. I personally like it because, again, as all Sunrider products, it's 100% natural. Again, rose hips, natural source of vitamin C, green tea extract, rich in antioxidants, etc. Fabulous product. It tastes good. It's something I keep right there on the shelf next to HerbCal, actually, which we're not going to talk about today. But I take them together every single day. Dr. Dees, what would you add about Citrix C-tab for us?
I will just add what you have stated, which is that the importance of vitamin C is a known antioxidant, which has been shown to inactivate damaging free radicals, plays an essential role in collagen formation. This is the key for me. It's necessary for strengthening bones and blood vessels, and it promotes healthy teeth, gums, and my goodness, it helps in the absorption of iron, which we know, right, how important iron is to the red blood cells. It aids in the maintenance of normal connective tissue, helps the body's immune system, and here we go. It is known to be the stress vitamin. And so what I always have said is that this is a food-grade form, which is amazing, vitamin C, and so therefore you do not have to worry about whether it's you, your family, customers, whomever it may be, of using a little or a lot. I know that Finn's going to say this. Believe it or not, I carry a bottle when I travel, even if I'm going to pick up at school, because the kids will get in the car and they'll cough or they'll sneeze, and I just send the bottle back. And they'll take two, and that's that. But this is one of those products that's simple. You can do a lot of prevention with Citrix C. I just want to really reinforce this is not isolated vitamin C like you would find on the market. That's what separates us. We're a food company. And so you never have to worry about it. I know a lot of people ask me about, will I have dysentery, or will I have a stomach ache from taking 2, 4, 6 of the Citrix C, and I always say, no, you will have amazing results. Buy it today. So this is one you have to keep on hand. Finn?
Yeah, first of all, it's delicious. So it's an easy one to get, all family members to take. So, sometimes it's hard, to choke down some of the herby kind of tasting stuff. So this one's an easy one to sell as far as taste. And also just coming back to, food, not chemicals. We don't always think of vitamins as being chemicals, but ascorbic acid is the chemical component of a natural vitamin C. So again, it's in its natural form where the body can recognize it as food and utilize it to its best potential. So I love how absorbable it is, and then it can do the job that it's meant to do, which is to enhance the immune system.
Fabulous, fabulous. Last two quick things for me in this one. I mentioned rose hips before as one of the key ingredients. Again, rose hips contain more vitamin C than oranges do. So again, Chin was right on. And Karen, something you referenced a second ago, and that is that this is kind of a stress-related vitamin, and certainly wintertime, holidays, etc. All of us tend to battle a little bit of stress, both mental and physical. So again, one more reason to keep this on the shelf. Sunrider Vitafruit. I've been using a lot of Vitafruit lately for a variety of reasons, but I've really come to love this product. I have to admit something to everyone. I never really used Vitafruit. There's so many Sunrider products, and we have, our house is a Sunrider house. Anyone that's been here can certainly testify to that. And I probably used 350 out of the 400, but this was one I never really used a lot of until recently. And Karen, it was at your suggestion, and I'll tell you, I've come to love this product. It's an everyday thing for me now.
This is one of those products that once you use it, you will love it. You will love this. I always call these super juices, whether it's Evergreen or it's Vitafruit. And And for all of us Latin buffs, right? So vita means in Latin alive. So I think that anything that's living, whether it's Vitadophilus, Vitafruit, we're talking about living foods. So this is living fruit. And what this is a concentrated amount of the correct group of living fruits, Vitafruit, in a concentrated form that actually go in and feed the immune system. So it's a super juice. Some of the properties in this, which are amazing, and it really, in my opinion, is cutting edge, because the fruits naturally have the highest amount of vitamin C naturally in them, or the highest amount of vitamin A naturally in it. So therefore, it heals skin and it beautifies your skin. But it also is hydrating, which is amazing, and it can replace all of your lost minerals, vitamins. It's got iron, antioxidants, but it's another one that builds the immune system. And I just want to give a little testimony to this, because with hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of clients or customers that I see, sometimes I reference back to my own family, because it's something I can see day to day, how they progress. And I'm always aware of my older sons who have gone through, the teenage years where they've had versions of acne, and the Vitafruit, without any hesitation, I watch this, heals their skin from the inside out. And it's amazing to me. The other piece is my oldest son, he will say to me, Mom, I don't know about all the other products you've put in front of me that I have to take, but I don't see the Vitafruit. And he'll say to me, that makes me feel so good. And I asked him one day, I said, Ben, what do you feel like? He said, I'm in school. He's a junior. I'm in school. I'm studying all day. I'm tired because I have hockey games early and I have hockey games late. And he said, this makes me feel healthy. He said, this is the only thing that I feel I rebound with. He said, I focus better, my immune system's better, and I was amazed that internally he knew that this product did that for him. His asthma, and this is just because I'm his mom, his asthma improved 100% with the Vitafruit. Now, I'm not talking cure. I'm talking we built up his immune system, and I've watched him just develop. And so I give my kids a little piece of paper every month, write the products that you want me to buy for you, that are only for you, and I will keep a special stash for you. And for our Ben, he just says, please let me have Vitafruit. And when I found a vial of Vitafruit last night in the hockey bag, I just thought, that's amazing. A bottle of water and Vitafruit. He said, I feel great. So you have to ask yourself about these products if your kids recognize it. It's amazing.
That's great, Karen. Thank you for sharing that. Finn, what would you add to that?
Well, that was an awesome story. Thank you. Yeah, it's stabilized. It's a stabilized vitamin C. So again, because vitamin C, I mean, things oxidize. You pour a fresh glass of orange juice and you leave it out for a little while, you'll see that oxidation, right? And so we know that this is a stabilized vitamin C, so it's going to have its full strength. Once you add it to water, of course, you do want to consume it within a few hours just to have that full strength, but just to know that it's not dead, right? It's like a lot of those kinds of vitamin waters in the stores are dead. So and it's a testament. The story that you just told, your body can feel it, so you know it's alive. I also really like using it. Again, if I'm starting to feel something coming on, then I really increase it, and I might even put it straight on a spoon and lick it off the spoon. It tastes delicious, and I find it's very soothing to the throat. I know Dr. Chen made this formula for his wife when she had throat cancer, so we know that vitamin C is very healing, like you said, to tissue, to the skin. And So this is, and I'm so happy that we have it back in Canada. There was a few years where we didn't have it. We had it, then we didn't have it, but hallelujah, we have it again.
Have it again. Yeah, it's funny, Finn. I can remember what your sponsor Cheryl talking about. I believe she likes to dip apples in it.
Oh yeah, apples and then the Vitafruit. That's
exactly, that was it. I knew there was something else she would dip it in. It would be a sliced apple, dip it in the Vitafruit, dip it in the Vitafruit, and yum.
It is so yum.
Perfect. You know, again, folks, ingredient highlights: sea buckthorn fruit, monk fruit, winter melon, all incredible things doing exactly what Dr. Dees and Finn were talking about. One quick thing I'll just share with folks again here, and it ties back to the skin, and we'll talk a little bit about winter months and the skin for, you know, helping our skin maintain hydration this next month with when we're on the call. But this original formula, the basis for Vitafruit, actually came from the Ming Dynasty in an effort to help soldiers stationed in the desert, designed to aid the body in rebuilding the membranes in the mouth and the skin after exposure to very hot, dry air. Matter of fact, rumor has it that Genghis Khan used this and fed it to his soldiers. The combination of these rare fruits, he knows that they had more energy, were able to march longer and cope with the heat and the humidity. So again, this formula that Dr. Chen has been able to put together for us is something that goes back thousands of years, and it ties in with exactly the things you guys were just talking about. So again, one more staple in our house now. Last but not least on the product review this month, Cali Night. Karen, tell us a little bit about Cali Night, and then we'll kind of close this thing down for the
Okay. And before I do that, I want to remind everybody, as Mac was talking about earlier, when we're looking at replacing what we're already buying in other stores for our Sunrider products, which are exquisite, I want you to look at all the vitamin waters, as Finn was talking about, and all the juices that could be replaced with Vitafruit. And I want you to look at, just as we're talking about Citrix C, are you buying vitamin C, or even products like Emergency from the stores where you can replace. So always look at the replacement concept so that you can budget this in, okay? So Callie Night is one of my favorites. I can honestly say that I use Callie Night a lot, and it has a little bit of a kind of a woodsy flavor, but the main ingredient in Callie Night, which really separates it from the other versions of Callie, is passion flower. And Callie's really designed to boost your body's own ability to cleanse itself naturally, so you flush out and eliminate toxicity and toxins. Cali Night, what I like to call Cali Calm, I wish they would rename it Cali Calm, is actually designed to relax the body. And so if you find at night that you're a little restless, or you're busy, and you need to calm down and have a lot of wonderful antioxidants, but also that gentle relaxation, this is a wonderful, holistic, food-grade way to help the body relax. And so Cali Night can also be used in the daytime. For all of you, I know I have tons of you that like to mix Cali Night with Cali Regular, but you can also drink Cali Night in the day if you are going through anything that is very stressful and you find yourself very anxious, or sometimes whether it's traumatic or times that are just very, intense for you, that the Cali Night can help relax you. I want to remind everyone, Cali Night does not contain any kind of tranquilizer or anything that puts you to sleep. The passion flower is just designed to help relax the body. And so this is one of those products that if you have not used it yet, I would encourage you to get it. You will be very surprised. I actually use this in my home when and I'm going to use my children again tonight, when my children have exams and tests where they're up a lot during the night and they're studying, and then they cannot quiet down to go to sleep. They will make a cup of Cali Night. One other testimony I want to use for one of my customers was spectacular, was she actually had a lot of anxiety traveling. And they were taking a long trip. Actually, they were going to take a trip for a week, and she said the only thing that actually helped her relax and calm and feel good on this trip while building the immune system was her Callie Night. So I want you to remember there's lots of ways to use this, but it's one of those products some of you may not know exists.
Right.
All right, Mac, Finn?
Karen, same thing for me. I tend to do my martial arts training in the evenings, so I'll get home about 8 o'clock or so at night after 2-3 hours in the dojo, be very keyed up physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. It's almost like oh shoot, I can just I'll make some Cali Night, and you're right, it doesn't put me to sleep at all, but it's almost like you can just feel the body just relax. Okay, there's a point in drinking it where it just kind of strips away, all that stuff, and it's perfect the way you described it, and that's exactly what I experienced. Finn, last comments from you?
Well, this one is probably one of my least used, but you've inspired me. I love to call it Cali Calm too. I think that's a great name for it. But yeah, I do martial arts and things like that. I'm going to try that, Matt, like do it at the end of an evening where it's just like allowing myself to unwind.
Right.
Give it a shot. It's like the peeling off the veil,
Yeah.
You will be so surprised. You will say, my goodness, I love this.
Absolutely.
Of course I will.
Okay, guys, we're pushing our timing here. So to kind of wrap this up, I just want to remind everybody that, again, I had heard recently that 50% of us wake up each morning praying for an opportunity that will change our lives. And that's part of what we're all about in Sunrider. I love talking to people about where they are in their life. Do they really love what they're doing? Where would they really like to be? And do they have a way to get there? And again, that's part of what we're doing in Sunrider. We're showing people the way to get them to their dreams, and simply by sharing with them the healthy lifestyle, the beauty products, the financial opportunity that Sunrider can provide. And Karen, back to your point that you and I have both made a couple different times on this call, it's showing people how easily they can switch brands using the same money they're using today to superior, higher quality Sunrider products. Lastly, I just want to finish off real quick here. It is a holiday time. We are looking, many of us look for gifts for people that are important to us in our lives. And Sunrider's put together a couple of sets for us to consider this year. This one, which happens to be one of my favorites because it does combine all of those NBCs, the Nourish, Balance, and Cleanse products, with a few of the other immune support products we've talked about tonight in terms of the hand cleansing gel and the Citrix C. But this is our healthy holiday family set, if you will. And it's listed up there, all the ingredients with it. It's something you can buy right now. And while supplies last, if you order here in the U.S., there is a special free gift that you'll be getting along with that. Another one, which is something I was talking with Julie McClooey about, the Condensed Manager, over this last week, and that is this Holiday Skin Glow Pack. Julie actually has recently released a point across segment, actually talking about this particular pack of products, and something that we'll be sharing with everybody if you haven't seen it through our Fusion Network newsletter this month. Here we go. Okay, this is actually the skin, the cover, if you will, for that point across. It's a great segment. Julie does a fabulous job describing these products and what they're all about, so check it out or look for it. One of the things I was thrilled about this year is actually gift cards. In previous years, Sunrider's always offered them in $150 denominations, but this year they're now provided $25 and $10 amounts as well. So again, folks, a perfect gift for folks in your downline, for your friends and family, and then they can choose themselves what products they want to order. So the gift cards are fabulous. Last but not least, want to remind everybody again, the Sunfit Business Pack is another great thing to give to somebody. It covers a variety of products. Some of the ones we'll be talking next month when we're talking about portion control and overeating during the holidays and that kind of thing. So another good one. And with that, I just want to thank you all again for listening in. Dolphin, thank you so much for your participation this month. Dr. Dees, as always, your sharing is absolutely incredible. And again, everybody, have yourself a wonderful November. For those of you in the U.S., we want to wish you all a fabulous Thanksgiving. And again, we'll talk to you next month where we'll be getting into the subject of diets and controlling our appetite and some of the things we can do to make it through the holidays without gaining a bunch of weight. So thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.